Hey, good evening, guys. It's Boomy here. And in honor of my mentor, Bob Proctor, who transitioned and went back to the great all in all last Thursday. I am going to be making some videos for the rest of this month, sharing some of my favorite quotes from Bob, sharing some of the things I've learned and how he has transformed my life. Oh my goodness, guys. I first met Bob through The Secret. Do y'all remember the movie The Secret? Well, this is the book. And if you have not seen The Secret in a while, and every now and again, I still meet people who have never seen the movie. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? But you definitely want to pull it out because it definitely has a lot of value in it. I first met Bob by watching the movie. That was back in 2006. What's up, Toby? That was back in 2006. And while I didn't become like a student of his until probably 7 years later or something like that, Bob has had such an impact on my life. Wait until I start sharing with you like the specific things that have happened for me because of being a student of his material. Now, let me tell you something before I share this quote. Let me tell you something that you probably don't know about Bob Proctor and his awesome legacy. So, first of all, Bob was the oldest living legend in the personal development space before he went back to the Lord last week. He was the oldest living legend. So, you've heard of Andrew Carnegie, right? Well, listen to this. Andrew Carnegie mentored Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill is the author of Think and Grow Rich. So, think your way to wealth if you don't have that, but that's the whole dialogue. Think your way to wealth is the whole dialogue between Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie. So Andrew Carnegie mentored Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill mentored Earl Nightingale, and Earl Nightingale mentored Bob Proctor. So look at that connection, that legacy. So you got from Bob to Earl, back to Napoleon, back to Andrew Carnegie. That's a long legacy of personal development of which Bob has had direct connection. And then I say from Bob to me because I learned from Bob and started teaching his work as well, and my life was absolutely transformed. And I am even more committed and on a mission and a crusade to empower and help other people through this legacy that Bob started and left, to help people to learn how to use their mind to create their wonderful, wonderful world. So let me share with you one of the quotes out of The Secret that Bob says. He said, if you just do a little research, it is going to become evident to you that anyone that ever accomplished anything did not know how they were going to do it. They just knew that they were going to do it. That is so powerful, guys, because most people nowadays, when they are thinking about going after a goal, they want to have all of the pieces of the puzzle in place. But Bob tells us in the quote, anybody who's achieved anything great, most times they didn't know how. They just made a decision, oh, I'm going to do this. And when you can work from that powerful point, creative point of making a decision and just say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get that house. I'm going to get that car. I'm going to get that job. I'm going to build that business. You might not know how. Here's the thing, you don't have to know how, but there's magic. There's power in decision because once you make the decision, I'm telling you guys, and I've seen it time and time again in my life, all heaven and earth will move in your favor. The people will show up. the resources will show up, the ideas will show up, the answers will show up. Everything you need will show up, right, Toby? He said facts. Everything you need will show up for the completion of that goal. So don't be one of those types of people where you got to have all your ducks in a row, you got to have everything in alignment. There's no fun in that. There's no inspiration in that. Literally, oh my gosh, most of everything I've ever decided to do that I wanted, I just decided that I wanted it. I decided that I wanted to have it. I didn't know how I was going to get it. Like this house that I'm living in now, when I made the decision to get this house, I was living in Section 8 housing. I didn't have no money. I didn't have any credit. I didn't have any savings. I didn't even have a thriving business. Like all I knew was what I wanted, right? That's all I knew is what I wanted. I remember praying and asking the Lord for land in a really nice area, and I wanted a home for my children. This I prayed that prayer in 1999. In 1999, I prayed it. And I thought I was going to have it sooner than I got it. But by 2005, I had built it. By 2005, I had the money. I had the credit. I had the resources. I had the yeses that I needed from people. I had every single thing that I needed for the achievement of this goal. But when I started, it was just a decision. If I had waited till everything was in alignment, who knows how long I would have been waiting. But because I made the decision, things just started coming and I started moving into action. I'm going to get this house. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to get it. All I just know is I want it. And then everything came together. Toby said, look at God. Yes, look at him. Look at him. Look at God and his principles and his universal laws. That's basically what Bob taught. Bob taught universal law and how we, as spiritual beings having a human experience, can work within the laws and have a phenomenal life while we are here. And so, even though, like, I told the story about how I prayed for my home in 1999, and it was all a faith walk, right? It was all a faith walk. So I didn't even know anything about Bob then. However, as I learned about this powerful, powerful voice in the human potential space, and I started studying him and started studying his information, it lined up with the word. It lined up with the word of God about us being creative beings, being able to use your words to create your world, being able to use your God-given mental faculties um, to just have things that you ask for and believe by faith for to actually manifest, right? Toby said, read Hebrews 11:1. Type that out, what that is. I don't know that by heart. I probably know it by heart, but just don't know what scripture it is. But Toby says, if you believe, then you will achieve. Absolutely. Give it out before you give up. You got to give out the right frequency. That's a frequency of expectation, a frequency of it's already done, a frequency of abundance, a frequency of I've got it. So I wanted you to know, number one, about Bob's legacy, the connection that goes all the way back to Andrew Carnegie. Read some of those books. If you haven't done it, guys, make sure you do this. Read Think Your Way to Wealth. You can hear that dialogue and read the dialogue between Napoleon Hill and Carnegie. Then, of course, read that timeless classic, Think and Grow Rich, or reread it. Okay. So if you want to know like where Napoleon Hill got that information from, Andrew Carnegie is the man, and of course, all the 500 people he interviewed. Then Earl Nightingale. If nothing else, listen to The Strangest Secret. You can do that on YouTube tonight. All right, The Strangest Secret. And then from Bob, go ahead and get his book, Born Rich, and read Born Rich. Toby says, okay, Hebrews 11:1. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped 4, the evidence of things not seen. Absolutely. That's how we have to walk by faith and not by sight. We can't be so in tune into our 5 senses. Most people live by their 5 senses: sight, touch, taste, smell, and sound. That's how most people connect to the world. But you can learn to come from a place where it's not about those sensory factors, where you go more within than without, and you go within and you just make your decisions about what you want and what you're going to do and have and achieve, not based on the 5 senses, but just based on what it is that you want. So was something else I was going to say. Oh, so anyway, you got this legacy. Then Bob taught for 61 years. He taught this information for 61 years. He was like, you know what? All I know is my life has changed. I used to make $4,000 at the firehouse. I owed $6,000, and I was just trying to figure out how to get my creditors off my back. Right? That was his story. And then he just happened to meet someone that told him about Think and Grow Rich, and that he could have a different type of life. And Bob didn't believe the guy at first. He said, listen, you don't have to believe me. But he said, you may not believe in you, but I believe in you and I know your potential. So Bob decided to start reading the book. And within a year, he went from $4,000 a year to $175,000. Then the next year, he was making over $1 million. And then what he did, he was like, wait a minute, I know I'm not that smart. I know I don't have education. How in the world did I go from dead broke to making $1 million? And he said he spent the next 9.5 years trying to figure that thing out. Trying to figure out how in the world, you know how you shock yourself? He was looking at his own self and like, I am not that bright without making $1 million. What happened within me? And he finally found out what happened within him to change his world. And when he found out and when he became consciously competent, he said, oh my gosh, I got to teach this to the world, because if this happened for me and I know where I came from, this can happen for anybody. And so the last 61 years, Bob has been on stages, traveling at companies, working with individuals, just transforming lives, teaching these same time-tested, God-given universal law principles, changing lives. And that is why this industry has felt, so many of us have felt such a loss when we found out that Bob passed, because even if we never met him, it was like we felt that, like he felt like he would come across caring like he's your father, like he's your grandfather, like you knew he cared. He just wanted you to get it. And it was truly what he wanted for himself. He wanted for everyone else. What happened for his life, he wanted everyone else to experience that life at its full, you becoming the best version of yourself, having a life of health and prosperity and abundance and increase, and being able to pour that out into other people's lives just to make the whole world a better place. You see, part of the mission statement of Proctor Gallagher Institute, which I am so proud to be a part of, is to improve the quality of people's lives globally by improving the quality of their thinking individually. That's what it's about, guys. Thinking into results. That's the name of the coaching program of Bob's that I coach people through and I facilitate people through, and there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. This 6 months is 24 weeks. 24 weeks coaching program will transform your life. I'm going to say it like Bob says it. In 6 months, you are going to need a telescope to look back and see where you started. It's just like that. So guys, get the books that I have shared with you tonight add them to your personal development library. Think Your Way to Wealth. Get another copy of Think and Grow Rich, even if you already have it. Listen to The Strangest Secret from Earl Nightingale. Get Born Rich from Bob Proctor. You may want to revisit the Secret as well. Show said I was his YouTube friend. Awesome. And his legacy will live on, says Toby. Oh, yeah, it's going to live on big time. See, Bob knew that his company will outlive his physical presence here on earth. I mean, he knew that, right? And he set it up. So we're not going to miss a beat. It's going to keep going. Like, Bob touched lives all around the world. In fact, PGI was actually in every country around the world now. I think we just hit that milestone last year. But so many people are expressing their heartfelt sadness for the loss. But those people who really know about how things really work, they're like, you know what? Bob's more accessible to us now than ever, now that he has gone back to the creator and he is everywhere. So you can talk to him, you can feel his presence, you can tap into his energy. And I am even more committed. I've been in the personal development realm for many years, been teaching for many years and doing my own seminars, but it's like my resolve is even stronger. My commitment is more fervent than ever before with Bob's transition, because we know it's funny. Those of us who were like a part of the community, some of the leaders were like, y'all know what Bob would say. What you crying for? Get to work. Stop crying and start spreading the message. Change lives, empower people, get them thinking right, help them to create, help them to learn how to manifest, help them to live life every day happy, healthy, prosperous, full of joy. That's my mission, and I'm sticking to it. All right, show. Thank you. Love you back. Mwah. All right, guys. This is Boomy Moore signing off. Bob Proctor, I love you. Woo, man. You're so awesome. A life changer for me and so many around the world. Well, guys, with that, remember, as my slogan says, you are more powerful than you know, and you really are. But if you want to tap into that power and really get an understanding of your potential, then see me, and I'm going to introduce you to Bob's legacy work through a program called Thinking into Results, and your life will never be the same. It's about radical personal transformation. All right, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Oh, by the way, I'm going to type in my website here so you can take a look. It's not fully all finished what it's going to be, but check out, that's wrong. Check out empowermenow.com. I got to delete that. That's wrong. Empowermenow.com. And that's empower with an I. Empowermenow.com. All right, guys. All right. Thank you for showing my video some love. That's right. Give me some hearts. Give me some thumbs up. And tag a friend who may can benefit from hearing this message. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.